Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe where we help and heal one day at a time. We're going to talk about some of the things that we lost, why we're in a lot of pain, what's going on with us. So not only do we lose our lover or our spouse, our house, our family, we also lost a part of ourselves. During the relationship, we compromised so much or spent so much effort trying to work on this relationship that we put our hopes and dreams on the back burner. We lost our friends. We lost our hopes and dreams just didn't seem achievable because we got caught up in the relationship. We lost our life because we're focusing on the relationship, trying to make it work and not understanding it. And sometimes we wonder, what's going to go on with the new supply. They're going to go through the same thing. They're going to lose who they are, which is going to change the way that the narcissist looks at them, the way they get treated, because now they're this whole different person. So not only were we in a relationship with somebody who wasn't real, the narcissist will always change who they are with. So we got into the relationship being hopeful that that's, a real person. And then the narcissist latches onto us because they like us as a person, but then they knock us down. So neither of us were with who we started out to be with. The narcissist was always under a mask, always hiding who they were, going after things that, you know, uh, they know inside that they feel that they're not worthy. So they pretend to portray themselves as worthy. And they even kick it up a notch just to kind of make sure that there's room for leeway if they, the new supply or you see through that mask. But it's all a facade. And when we're in that relationship, we're focusing so hard on, how do we make the right dinner? Or, maybe I gotta plan a special trip, show this person that I love them. Like, what am I going to do? And we start focusing on the relationship instead of enjoying the relationship. And when we're doing that, we're taking away the time that we need for ourselves. During that downtime, instead of scrambling and, trying to get things back to what we, that pedestal idealization standard is, we're not focusing on our time to where we could just relax, or this is our time to watch the TV show that we wanted. We're always on edge, and that destroys our physical, our emotional health. So now our emotions are a little off key. We're starting to walk on eggshells, avoiding situations, not being as motivated, which causes us to struggle to get through things. We start, kind of doing what the narcissist does. We start canceling on our friends, but hopefully you at least do it politely. Narcissists often will just ghost you. They won't even cancel plans with you. They just won't show up, and then give you some BS excuse later. So we also lose our boundaries. We set them up, and they're so often overlooked, where the narcissist doesn't care what the boundaries were. And you got to think about it too, is the way that we communicate with them too kind of encourages them to continue doing what they're doing. Just like, let's say they're like, you're a fucking bitch. And we're like, can we just talk about it? And so they just called us something pretty harmful. And instead of saying, don't talk to me that way, or we'll finish this when you can talk nicely, we overlook that little step. And so the narcissist is like, whatever, I'll just keep calling you that. Or they'll see the reaction that we have, so they get a kick out of it. Or they're just childlike, like, I don't care, I'm going to talk how I want to talk. So we lose our boundaries, we lose our friendships, we lose our capability of moving forward in life. Our hopes and dreams are set aside. Our physical health often diminishes. Sometimes some people, to cope, might start drinking or doing drugs or whatever just to get by. It's good to cry. Sometimes you need to cry. But the narcissist will knock you down for that. So you're not able to even express your feelings. And sometimes we might start hiding, going and just sitting in our room by ourselves. Like I used to cry a lot and my daughter saw it a lot and I was trying to protect her. And I had told her, I'm like, oh, I'm just happy you're wearing a blue dress today. And I was crying over something else. And I know her friend had posted on Facebook with a new baby, and she was kind of frustrated, crying all the time. And, I had mentioned something about how I told my daughter, they're just happy tears. And my daughter actually responded back. She's like, yeah, I used to think I had the happiest mom because I cried so much. But we do need to release our emotions, and being caught up in all those emotions, like how much we cry or um, deal with our emotions, we're losing our life because of that. Like, you shouldn't have to cry every day because you love somebody. And I really want you to take that to heart, is you shouldn't have to cry so much when you're in that relationship, or you shouldn't have to argue or get frustrated so much. And we lost our peace, our inner peace, and it kind of sticks us into a rut to where it becomes normal. Like, as I was going through my healing process, I was on such high anxiety for the longest time because he wouldn't communicate with me. And I'm just like, are you mad at me, or are you dead, or what's going on? We were supposed to, start a life together. And you're in this high anxiety state. And it's almost like you're used to the panic mode. You're used to that. And when you walk away from that, your body doesn't know how to handle it. And, it's almost like more comfortable to be in the panic state because you were in that for so long. So that's part of the reason that it hurts when you start moving on, is your body's just not used to it. Like when my grandmother, we had taken her in, I was still at home with my parents. But you get used to, like, how's grandma doing today? Or I'm going to go, she stayed in the dining room just because of the couldn't get upstairs. But you just get used to somebody being around. So it took a little bit of time, even though I knew she was gone, to break out of the home from school, how's grandma, as it's kind of becomes a habit. And that's kind of what we got trapped in, is this habit of chaos. And that's where the narcissist, this can kind of help us understand the narcissist, is they're in that state of chaos. And theirs comes from childhood. So they've had it a lot longer than us. It's routine for them to stay in chaos. They kind of need it. Just like when I was healing, it's like, I don't want to go through this. Like, this is physically painful. And it was something that you couldn't really control, because you wake up and you're like, it's going to be a great day. Oh, I just had a panic attack or a shock wave. And you're like, where's this coming from? Like, I just woke up, haven't even had my coffee yet. And that's kind of what the narcissist too is. They just wake up and up. No, it's not going to be a good day. I just am unsettled. So break free from it. Like, it's going to take some time. It can be physically painful, emotionally painful, but you need to get back to who you really were in the beginning. It is possible. The more you learn about narcissism, the more you learn about different techniques. I did something on the mindset where you can tell yourself it's going to be a great day and make it a great day. Even if you don't feel the best, if you tell yourself, you feel better. There's psychological tricks that we can do, and it's been scientifically proven. And I'd like you to check that video out. It's kind of cool how the mind works. But just keep focusing on yourself. Try not to ruminate too much. If you do look back, look at it in a happy sense. Like, that was really great. We went to the amusement park and that was so sweet when they gave me flowers, or whatever is positive. But don't look at, like, man, what did I do wrong? How could we have fixed it? And why did I say that? Or why didn't I do this? Because then you're going to get stuck in the rumination, and that's just feeding our fueling our fire. And fire is destructive, you know. To move forward, to learn as much as you can, to protect yourself from others in the future, to keep your boundaries. You know, next time somebody calls you a bitch, um, don't don't accept it, you know, because we kind of encourage them in little ways like that. You know, if they're like, this food sucks tonight, and we're like, well, I'll try better tomorrow. They still are like being rude to us, you know, and we encourage them in a sense, like, okay, I'll try harder. And that's part of the destruction in a narcissistic relationship is, you know, you should be able to say, I'll try harder, or you know, but with the narcissist, they take advantage of it. They're like, oh, all I got to do is say that. It's really weird how their mind works, because they're emotionally childlike, but they are intelligent on the manipulation. And just remember, they've had years of practice, because it did happen in childhood, and they got locked into that state, and they can't unlock it. Like I keep saying in the other videos, is they do have actual brain damage. It's not something that they can just fix. Um, so watch out for those red flags, because if you're hoping to change them, or have them go to therapy and change, it's almost like they can't. And if they do, it's just them going through the motions, you know, just like if they say sorry, they're not sorry. They don't feel that. They don't. If they feel something, they feel a fear of losing who they're with, because that's their supply. And it's crazy how it is just a person, like, or an object to them, because how they move on so quickly can really show you that you know, they're not really concerned on the exact person that they're with. They just want to make sure the person looks good or has a good job or things like that, because they don't weed through to get the best of the best. It's almost like at the grocery store, they're just, yeah, I don't know, a bunch of bananas, I'll get a tomato, that they're not like really looking at it. It's just like, whatever, I don't care, I'm just gonna grab it. Because they're not selective. They often get lucky with who they choose. You know, they do see the qualities in the people, but you know, I'm single, you know, and I've seen some good people, but you know, I'm not going to just latch on to the first good person, because you want to make sure it's right. And um, don't don't lose yourself in staying in a relationship. And when you move on, make sure that the person that you end up with is going to respect your boundaries, that they are able to love. Be aware if they're concerned about your emotions or your feelings. Like, did they ask, like, you know, if you're like, oh, I had a bad day, they're like, oh, you had a bad day. Or do they say, why, what happened? And really try to understand it. And when you tell them, are they like, oh, or do they talk about it, like, to comfort you, or to get to understand it a little bit more? So just keep healing, keep learning. That's the best way to heal. But we can lose a lot of ourselves, and it's up to us to refill who we were. And don't latch on to somebody else to fill that. Don't latch on to coming back to the narcissist to fill that void, because there is a void. It's also caused brain damage in us, to where there's a physical void, and you don't want that damage to continue to get worse. So work on yourself, see what brings you pleasure, because your narcissist brought you pain. And you know, sometimes we try to kind of make excuses on how it could work, and it could work for a little bit. Look across all these channels, you know, he came back or she came back, and the first 3 months were great, and you get discarded easily. Or if you're still in the relationship, it's full of disrespect, it's full of broken promises, poor word choices, where they leave us confused, they don't communicate effectively. And I had noticed with my second ex, I finally, after that, we struggled for years. Like, why is this so hard to just communicate? And something snapped. I don't know, something, he got a little bit better. But I had to say, effective communication, please. As soon as I started doing that, we were able to at least communicate, because it was ridiculous. You know, you're sitting there crying. And I had mentioned, you know, when you explain why you would like an answer, that that was so weird. I'm like, it hurts me, or I'm just trying to communicate, or I'm confused, or all these things that we tell them. When you tell them why, they they shut you out. I had to be very direct, you know, because I had said, you know, I asked these direct questions and I don't understand why you don't answer. And da, da, da. I just had to say effective communication, because no matter what I tried to make a joke out of it, like, haha, yeah, you crack me up. You there you go again, not answering my question. And it got to the point where years of just trying to say, can I just ask this question? Um, it was ridiculous, exhausting, you know, and then it destroys the relationship, because all it is me being annoying, them ignoring or gaslighting. And it's just not a healthy situation. So get back on track. And you know, it's going to take time to heal, but don't get stuck in the desperation mode, or the comfort of knowing somebody's there. You know, that might be why you want to get back with them, because you'll know somebody's there, but the comfort isn't going to be there. The comfort won't be there, because without empathy, they're not going to treat you the right way. And if things take a turn for the worse in life, something happens and you need them there, that's when they're going to ghost you. And you're laying your groundwork right now for the future. Just make sure it's the best future possible. And it is okay to be alone. Enjoy that time. You know, hang out with some friends, or take the time to go on some dates, and not just jump into something, and it'll get better. So please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.